Hi indie game fans, welcome back to I Dream of Indie. Old Gamer Joe coming at you with another review today. We are looking at the Innsmouth case. This one comes from developer Robot Pumpkin Games and was published by Assemble Entertainment. It was released as of June 23rd, 2020. It is a Lovecraftian text-based adventure where you will have to make a ton of different choices in order to discover the numerous endings that are in this game, 27 in total. At the time of this review, there is a discount on Steam of 20%, making this game $9.99. It is normally priced at $12.49. The Innsmouth case tells the story of a detective out of Boston who is one day visited by a mother who is very upset as her child has gone missing and she can't seem to find a detective that wants to take on the case. The game wastes no time in throwing different choices at you, as you'll have to decide if this is a case you want to take or if you would rather pass on this one, as to be fair, this woman is a little bit mysterious and seems a bit odd. As you stumble across more and more clues, you are led to the village of Innsmouth. Whether you hitchhike there or find another means is up to you. Once you arrive, you will again be faced with tons of choices as to which locations you want to visit first, who you want to talk to. There are a lot of different options in this game, which makes sense because there's a ton of endings. Being based on a Lovecraft universe, expect to run into a lot of strange and interesting characters, all of which have a little bit of mystery surrounding them and can't be fully trusted. Being a text-based adventure, there is no voice acting in this game whatsoever, so expect to do a ton of reading. Thankfully though, the well-written dialogue is generally a joy to read through, often quite humorous as well. This is not a mystery written in detail to say an Arthur Conan Doyle story per se, but it is still quite entertaining and I chuckled quite a bit throughout. This game can also end pretty quickly depending on the path that you choose. Maybe you'll end up with an ending in 30 minutes, or maybe you'll be playing for an hour or more. Regardless, if you're going for all 27 different endings, expect to play through a lot, making different choices at different times throughout the story, but thankfully there is a chapter selection in order to make this easier. That's not to say that every piece of dialogue is humorous in the Innsmouth case. It is a rather dark game at times with great horror elements to it as well, as you would expect in a Lovecraftian story. Some of the endings that I stumbled my way into were funny, some of them were ridiculous. It's really a little bit of a mix here, but it's always entertaining regardless, and it's worth seeking them all out if you have the time. So in a game that doesn't have an actual lot of gameplay, it's a good thing that the Innsmouth case will entertain you with its writing. I also quite enjoyed the art style of the Innsmouth case, especially the characters who look like they're something out of a Tim Burton movie, or even that movie Coraline, which I quite enjoyed. Some of the environments too are so well drawn, you almost wish this was a fully realized 3D game at points. Maybe they could build a universe of sorts out of this, but there is a lot of personality and charm to the look of the game, especially for one that is simply a text adventure. I also did quite enjoy the moody, atmospheric piano tracks that accompany you as you are reading through this game. There's a little bit of mystery and intrigue behind every musical piece that you'll come across as you're reading, and they're not complex compositions, but they do fit the mood perfectly. I absolutely love the piano, especially when it's the basis of a song. There's so much emotion and atmosphere that you can get out of that instrument. And even though you will hear a lot of these songs perhaps ad nauseum to a point, they are at least very enthralling with some nice instrumentation backing that piano. I actually quite enjoyed the Innsmouth case. It has great atmosphere and there's a lot of different endings for you to try to find. I think some narration would have helped to bring even more personality to this game, despite the fact that it does do a really good job of creating great atmosphere even without voice acting. And of course, this isn't really a knock, but humor is subjective. Even though I was amused and entertained by the writing, it might not be for everyone, particularly if you don't like a darker tone to your writing. This one was pretty neat though, and I think fans of text-based adventures will have a lot of fun uncovering the 27 different endings, especially if they are looking for a little bit of Lovecraftian flair. So, will you be checking out the Innsmouth case? Let us know in the comments below, and if you did enjoy our content today, consider hitting the subscribe button to help us in our fight to bring a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming. There's a ton of other ways to support I Dream of Indie. Consider heading down to the description box below where you can check out our Patreon, which offers some awesome tiers including exclusive live streams and other bonus content including shoutouts, or feel free to hit up the Twitter, Facebook, or jump into the Discord for some fun conversation. However you end up supporting I Dream of Indie though, we thank you so much for doing so.